What's going on, guys? It's Dominic and Joe Paul. Welcome back to D and J Podcast. It's been a while since you guys have seen us. We haven't really got anything except we got Shang-Chi.
Sorry if you missed us.
Yeah. Our last episode was What If. Shang-Chi, me and him went and saw it. I thought the movie was going to be really bad. I watched it and it was actually probably my favorite movie. So, not my favorite movies of the MCU,
right.
but of what we've got so far.
We had zero expectations.
I personally loved it. We see a whole bunch of familiar faces.
We do.
And I think I like this one better than Black Widow. What about you?
Yeah, better than Black Widow.
Better than Black Widow. Are you going to say they're better than any of the series we got, like WandaVision, Loki, or you think they're about the same?
It's kind of tough with it being a...
movie?
What's it called? Yeah, a movie and like an origin story. Those are kind of tough because all the series we've had have been continuations of what we've already seen. So
yeah, I agree with that.
It's one of the... It's a really good movie.
It's a really
Legend of the Ten Rings, I give it 10 out of 10.
10 Rings. So we're gonna go scene by scene, or not really, because we've only seen the movie one time. So, but we're gonna talk about like kind of Easter eggs, who we saw, and what this goes kind of leading up towards.
Yeah, where it's going, how it's gonna tie into the MCU, Phase 4, everything like that.
So Shang, aka Shang-Chi, he's at San Francisco and he escaped from his father, who was basically he wasn't the founder of the 10 Rings. We'll find out at the end, but he has the 10 Rings and he meets what's the mom's name again? Did you get that?
The mom's name's Mom.
She didn't have one.
I missed it. No,
okay.
She has one. I missed it though.
But she has some type of magic powers too, doesn't she? It's not 10 Rings, but
she does, and she has the power of the world Taolo, and they basically get their power from like elements. They have like power of wind, power of fire, power of water, and all that stuff. Kind of like, you guys ever watch Captain Planet? It's kind of like that. So she's got like these natural abilities, and then Wenwu, his dad, has like this dark 10 rings, and he's been alive for 1,000 years, and he's been just dominating and destroying everything.
So will that make it so Shang-Chi can live forever? I mean, we know he can, but will he?
Yeah. So how he came into himself? So he had to submit to the power from his mom, the Taolo stuff, and then he had to submit to the power of the 10 rings, and so he's able to possess them. So yeah, he could be eternal, really powerful. He's going to be a powerful character going forward.
Yeah.
And a new Avenger.
I don't think he. I mean, yeah, I know he's gonna be powerful. I wonder how powerful he's gonna get. Is he gonna be, Wanda level?
Wanda, Thor, Doctor Strange level.
Yeah,
That's interesting. I'm gonna say yeah.
Those rings are really cool. I'm trying to think because, like I said, I've only seen this movie one time.
Right.
So they're in San Francisco, living, an American life. Nothing to do with China.
Parking cars.
Yeah.
Valets.
And he gets a letter from his sister, and it's telling. Oh, apparently it wasn't his sister. It was his dad that actually sent that.
He thinks it's his sister. Basically, he's been on the run for like 10 years. Mm-hmm. He thinks that no one knew where he was, but the whole time his dad was kind of like watching over him.
Yeah.
He's just valet parking cars in San Francisco, and his best friend Katie. They're just kind of bonding together and not really worried, just kind of enjoying life. And then they get this letter, and that's where the movie changes, and we start to get into the storyline.
So, what is it, the 10 Rings? What are they called again? Is that what they're called?
The 10 Rings.
Just the 10 Rings. Well, not the 10 Rings, but the people, like the soldiers.
Yeah, it's like a army name, or kind of like a cult.
Yeah, but
the Army of the 10 Rings.
But the guy with no arm and stuff comes to San Francisco. And that's when he says something about...
Razor Fist.
Yeah, Razor Fist.
Razor Fist comes to San Francisco.
He looks so familiar. I couldn't think of who he... I know he played in another movie, but I can't think of what.
He reminded me of a character from Deadpool that I couldn't place. But he reminded me of a guy from Deadpool.
Huh.
Similar.
Wait, man.
Jax, maybe.
I don't know, but yeah, anyway, he tells him about his sister, like what they're going to do to him. and that's when he decides to go. And was that city they went to? Isn't that the same city from Falcon and Winter Soldier? Is that what that said?
It had some of the Easter eggs. They had like some of the posters and the propaganda from what was that city called?
Starts
with an M.
Madripoor.
Madripoor. It had some Madripoor-esque type stuff. Yeah, this like underground fighting ring, and his sister, what's her name? Shailene. It's Xialing. We'll get the names right.
Shailene, yeah.
But that's his sister. So she's basically running this underground fight place, and that's where we see
Wong.
Wong.
The Abomination.
The Abomination.
We see a lot of familiar faces. I'm not sure if I said that at the start. We see a lot.
We do.
And what's actually crazy is we see Mrs. Shang from Venom, right?
Yes.
So that's really cool.
That's cool.
Really cool because it's kind of tying the two universes together.
Right.
I'm not sure if Venom takes place in the multiverse, but it's kind of cool.
If Sony ever gets on board, like if they start cooperating with each other, we can see a lot of really cool stuff, which I think they are.
Yeah. So Wong, it's really awesome seeing those Doctor Strange powers again because obviously we got the Spider-Man trailer, but it's cool seeing those Doctor Strange powers with the multiverse.
Yeah, the ring powers.
Yeah. And he basically destroys the Abomination. We use that portal. He punches him, and his arm goes through the portal. He punches himself.
Yeah,
that's awesome.
That was a great trick.
It just proves how powerful those magic is. Because think about it, Hulk. It took him till the end of the movie to. I haven't seen the Hulk if I'm being honest, but he was the main villain, and Wong just absolutely destroys him. So it kind of shows how powerful that is.
Yeah, that's true. I didn't think of it like that.
Yeah, and then this is when his dad. So we see his sister. Shang-Chi fights his sister, and we kind of get the background where they were, or not her, but Shang-Chi. And I'm just gonna say it Shang-Chi. I know it was called different.
Shang-Chi.
Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
But that's just what everyone else calls it. And he was raised to be an assassin to kill his mother's killer.
Yeah,
they had that. They didn't really go more into that, but I know he had completed the mission, and he said he didn't. But
yeah, he lied to Katie at first and said that he just ran off. But later in the movie, we find out that he actually did go and kill the guy responsible for killing his mom.
I think that was cool how they made it so he actually did do it.
Yeah,
because this kind of brings villains in them.
It does, because that's this whole mix. He's supposed to be the mix of his dad and his mom to become the ultimate warrior, like yin and yang is what they talked about. But the special effects in this movie are awesome. The fight scenes are amazing. Just everything about it. It really blew my expectations.
Mm-hmm. This was cool. So, they fight, and then his dad shows up. We're skipping a little bit because it's really not important. But his dad shows up, and basically this is when we figure out all. He's been watching them. He knew where they were this whole time.
Yeah, he did.
And he talks about he thinks that his wife is still alive, but it's really those demon things that we figure out were locked up by the dragon.
So his dad, when he met the mom kind of brought out the good in him. So he took the 10 rings off and kind of gave up that power for a while and was living like a normal life until she got killed, which kind of made him go crazy again. But yeah, she wasn't alive very long in the movie.
Nah, we only see her when she was when he was a kid. Yeah, when he was a kid.
Spoiler alert, sorry.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, I guess if you're watching this, you've probably seen the movie.
But hopefully,
it shows them fighting, and it just shows that the 10 rings and their powers are about the same, really.
Right.
And that's when they fall in love, and then.
Oh, so when he puts the 10 rings back on, that's when, because the rings have their own power.
Yeah, and so the demons know that.
The demons are able to like manipulate this from a different dimension.
Yeah.
And make him think that his wife's calling to him from Ta Lo, what it's not, but he thinks it is, and no one can tell him any different.
Yeah.
So that's when the battle scene sets up in Ta Lo.
So would his dad be considered a bad guy or a good guy?
He's a villain. He's definitely a villain.
Villain? You think so?
He was trying to kill him at the end.
Oh, yeah.
Up until the end.
Yeah, yeah.
I'd say villain for sure.
Villain.
He had a soft spot for a while, but he couldn't hide the darkness forever.
Yeah. So where are we? So this is when I think he's planning on going and destroying the city of, what was it called? Metopolis? Metallo?
Or which
The city where
the city his mom's from, or
yeah.
Yeah. Tallow.
Yeah, he's gonna burn it to the ground basically.
Yeah, he wants to. Wenwu, the dad, he wants to destroy everything.
Yeah, and we see Trevor.
In comes Trevor.
He was a little cool addition to the movie.
Yeah, Trevor was the Mandarin in Iron Man 3.
Yeah,
and they just peppered him in perfectly.
Yeah, they did.
We got a Trevor appearance, and he was hilarious, and he fit into the movie really well. It was a nice little surprise.
Yeah, and we're just gonna skip to the part where where they go to his mom's land, and this one to figure out that his aunt still lives there, and there's demons that are in there.
They
were locked up
behind this wall, like this dragon scale wall.
Yeah,
that had been sealed for thousands of years, but it knows that the Ten Rings has the power to release them, so that's why it's calling out to Wenwu, because they want to take over shit.
This is when the special effects get absolutely insane.
This is where the special effects get awesome.
So they start fighting the soldiers, once the demons are released, the Ten Ring soldiers actually join the other team to defeat these demon things.
Other dimensional demons.
Yeah.
That sounds cool.
You think they're part of maybe like a multiversal thing?
Absolutely. They're coming from some multiverse. I think something bigger is sending them through, because we did see basically there's a good dragon in Tallow that's under the water, and then there's a demon dragon that has to keep the balance, so they kind of go at each other.
Yeah.
But it's just an awesome movie, and
oh yeah.
He was saying earlier, can't wait for it to come out on Disney Plus.
I know, yeah.
Probably a couple of months.
Probably a couple of months. But his dad gets defeated by the dragon, dies. He releases all of them. The dragon comes out, kills him. The demon comes out, kills his dad. Or I guess Shang-Chi gets the rings before that. And there's a cool little fight scene. We knew he was gonna get the rings, but it was cool to see him actually have it, and the dragon and him kill the demon thing.
Yep, they work together. He's riding the dragon.
And it sends. Oh,
Shang-Chi's riding the dragon.
It sends out a beacon.
It does send out a beacon. What the coolest part about the rings was, and maybe we got like a little Wanda multiverse Doctor Strange tie-in, because the rings have like this purple like energy power glow. It's purplish, similar to what like Agatha had in WandaVision. So we're just wondering if it's like, because we don't know the origin of the rings. In the post-credit scenes, you see Captain Marvel and Bruce Banner trying to explain like, hey, it's nothing like we've ever seen. So maybe it's like this old
I think it is
Nexus being type power. But it changes from the purple, and then when Shang-Chi gets it, it goes to the red. So that was a cool transition.
So yeah, let's get to the end. So Wong gets Shang-Chi and Katie, and they talk about the beacon got set up when he got the rings.
Right.
I personally, what I said is, I think it's the Eternals. I think it was a beacon to the Eternals. I think maybe the Eternals made those rings. That's what I said. It's just a theory. I mean, because Captain Marvel, she had no clue what they were, and she's been to millions and millions of planets, so that's why. And in the Eternals, no one really knows who they are on that little universe.
True.
So,
and Wenwu's had them for 1,000 years.
Yeah.
And they said that they're way older than that. So Eternals have been around for 7,000 years. So maybe your theory's right.
It has to be the Eternals, because that movie's coming out too.
It is.
I think the Eternals is gonna be like Shang-Chi. Like, you're not really too excited for it, and then you watch it, it's gonna be really good.
Yeah, because Shang-Chi, the Eternals, those are both comic book stories that we don't know a lot about. You know, we're Captain America, Thor, stuff like that. So it's really cool seeing something for the first time and, you know, being able to experience it. It's kind of like watching, you know, something new. That
had to be one of the greatest in-credit scenes in a while. I would say I can maybe see Hulk coming in, but Captain Marvel, I had no idea she was going to be in Shang-Chi.
No idea.
It was cool seeing her because we've only seen her twice.
So how many tie-ins do we have? We have a Spider-Man tie-in,
Spider-Man
we have a
tie-in.
Doctor Strange tie-in, a possible Wanda tie-in, just all kinds of goodness.
I mean, not Shang-Chi, Captain Marvel.
Captain Marvel.
All them. She-Hulk.
And Bruce Banner is back to being Bruce.
Yeah.
He's not Professor Hulk anymore, and he's got the cast, so it's like his arm is still damaged from the Infinity Gauntlet.
Yeah, I hope we see more in that. I guarantee we will, but I want to see how he turns back.
Yeah, so is that setting up like Planet Hulk? She-Hulk's coming out in a year. We learned that earlier, probably coming out in a year. So it's setting up a lot of things. All these movies connect, and it's just great how the puzzle pieces come together when it's all said and done.
Yeah, and then there was actually a second end credit that we left for because we didn't know. But anyway, it was his sister taking her dad's throne, which is
for real. And that's how it was in the comics.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But in the comics, was she bad? Or was she just making a better...
Good question.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah, 'cause she's kind of a wild card. We don't know which way she's going to go. Is she going to go more towards her dad? Because she still kind of resents Shang-Chi for kind of abandoning her for all those years, for 10 years. She said she waited for like 4 years before she gave up on him. But
yeah, that's the end of Shang-Chi.
Yeah.
End of that.
Check it out, guys.
Yeah. I guess that's going to be the end of this episode. We're going to film a Spider-Man right after this, but...
Spider-Man.
But yeah, go see Shang-Chi if you haven't. I'm excited to watch it for a second time.
Me too, because you miss so many things when you watch it.
Yeah.
You got to watch it at least 3 times.
Yeah, you got to watch it at least 3 times to get actually the full. But yeah, we're going to get into Spider-Man. Be ready for that. In fact, Spider-Man might come out first. I'm not sure. Let's go.